Hello, I'm Daniel Thompson, and nothing feels real. Now, when I say that, I'm not saying that I'm seeing things, I'm not saying that I'm losing my mind completely. No, it's just nothing feels real. The term that I've found for it, and it's almost the most painfully obvious term for it, is derealization, which is just not basically feeling not connected to your environment. It doesn't feel real. You know in your mind that it is real. It's not that you ever think that it's fake. It just doesn't feel that way. I don't remember how it started, but it's been going on for a long time. I think maybe the origin it was after the whole Kenosha News thing. For one, when a whole bunch of people are trying to talk to you, you think it's less lonely, but it's actually the most isolating experience of your life. All these individual voices have become one voice, all saying different things, and you can't keep track of any of it. And those people that are so important to you or that you love are the people that suddenly you lose track of and they're gone. It's like in a movie when somebody's trying to get through a crowd to get to somebody and talk to them before they leave and go to the airport, but then this crowd swarms them and everything like that, and then that person gets away. And that's kind of what happened in my life. Like, I know the moment that, or the thought that when it hit, that's when everything was cemented as far as this bout of feeling this way. It's the moment that this image of my wife and my kids that I'd planned, and quite honestly was on the way to doing it, it was happening. To feel that dissolve in my mind and realize it's gone. That was like the one connecting tissue left to keeping me grounded and all of that. And once that was gone, I just started floating. And the thing about floating is that it's a commitment to life isn't good or bad. You're kind of embracing the great indifference of the world and not really trying to be active in pursuing any sort of direction. I have been floating for a while. So much so that I'm the guy. Think of it like if you were at some sort of Niagara Falls type thing, or there's just some stream with a heavy drop coming, and you're just kind of struggling going down the river, panicking, seeing this thing coming, and then you look off to the side and you just see me holding onto a branch still in the water, just like, should have grabbed something, man. That's kind of where I'm at in life. I'm not in danger, but I'm not exactly at safety. I'm still in everything. I'm just holding on. And I think a lot of people miss that. Just because you're not struggling, thrashing around, doesn't mean you don't need help. Somebody clinging on to all they have to not get swept away. Some people look at it as, just hang in there. You know how I see it? Oh my God, this person only has this one thing left and nothing lasts forever. That one thing is going to go away and they will inevitably get swept away if nobody intervenes. But I don't, I don't think we do anymore. And it's the weirdest thing. The way that I explain how I feel about the world right now is this: it's as if the entire world ended. and none of us knew what to do with it. So we collectively, in some kind of form of trauma, kept going, just going through the motions, going through our routines, because the destruction of everything was so painful that we don't want to acknowledge that it happened. So we're just kind of these wind up people right now. Pull yourself out of bed, roll, crawl. Sometimes maybe you don't even. It's just about sitting up and opening your laptop to get to work. But you have to wind yourself up somehow and keep going. And it's weird because it all seems so impersonal and it all seems so cruel. To be standing in when it comes to Kenosha, to be standing in a city of 100,000 people and feel like the loneliest person in the world. That's insane. And the thing is, there's plenty of people who are listening to this and thinking like, "Yeah, man, that's life." But should it be? Why do we accept that? Why why? Why does that have to be life? Why is life something that makes you feel isolated? How did we figure out that life, this thing that we all have to go through, should be this experience that we make as inconvenient as possible for each other? Whether that's through active means or simply ignoring somebody who is thrashing around and crying for help. I'm Daniel Thompson, and nothing seems real. Like, I don't, when I say that, it's not that I can look at something or someone and I know how I feel. I know our connection. I know all the things that color them in my life, but I'm staring at them in black and white. At some point, all of that color seeped out, and now I live in a colorless world. And I'm waiting. I'm waiting. And I don't that's the thing, I don't even know. It's some weird people think that I'm horribly cynical because of what I say, even though I see myself more as a realist based on the life I lived. If you had lived my life, you would be to be quite honest, most of you would actually say worse things than I do. There are plenty of stories that I'll never tell publicly, details about my life that are too horrible to relive and that involve more people than me that I just not me. I don't tell stories that will affect other people's lives in ways that are irreversible. But it takes a lot to not go full dark with everything because there's a reservoir of pain from all that stuff. And I'd love nothing more than to crack that wall and let it all spill out. It would be so freeing, but you can't. It's not the world we live in. If somebody asks you how you are, be honest when you're having a bad day. Watch that person's reaction. See how long they stick around and see if they talk to you later that day or check up on you. Better yet, next time you ask how somebody is, count how many times they'll ask you how you are. Maybe my sense of disconnection comes from the fact that we all don't really care. We ask each other about our emotional well being while walking a brisk pace past each other and barely listening to the response. We take other people and fit them into our spare time, which, for the record, I've been one of the busiest people I've known for the past 10 years. I used to work 6 days a week, 10 to 12-hour days. I still found a way to make the people in my life feel important and spend time with them. So, just for the record, don't ever come to me with, I just don't have time. I've found ways to make time when I had four places to be at once. You just don't want to. Or you just can't, you're not smart enough to. Or you just don't care about that person to make that time. That would be the real part of it. That would make things real. I'm Daniel Thompson, and nothing seems real. Maybe it's maybe it's dealing with the fact that life changed completely. Where I am sitting now, talking, is completely different from where I recorded the first episode of this podcast. Completely different than where I stood when I quit my job at Kenosha News. In that house. In the past year, I have lived four places, maybe a fifth. Four places in a year. Four homes that weren't home. And you kind of just become this ghost haunting other people's lives. You don't have your own space, so you're just kind of infiltrating everybody else's. Trying to be as quiet as possible, as small as possible, as convenient as possible. You make yourself like a book on a shelf. Quiet, but if you open it up, there's plenty to get to know. Because there's nothing more tiring than fake connection. Saying how you're feeling and getting a bunch of responses and then put down your phone and you're alone. And that's the thing is digital help does nothing for my physical problems and mental problems. I work in words. Words have been my life. I've won awards for how I can arrange them. Your words will never make me feel totally better. Words are meaningless to me. They really are at this point. I'd rather take a quiet action than the most beautiful thing anyone could ever write. Because that's real. And this will be the weirdest thing to say as a writer, but words just, they're not real anymore. Words of sympathy, words of encouragement, words of kindness, words of love, words of hate. Words. They're just words. Dear God, I wake up in the morning and all I have are words. And nothing else. I'm Daniel Thompson and nothing seems real. I don't know. I don't know the solution. I don't know if there is one. Maybe it's just time. Maybe it's that my heart kind of just died. And I'm just waiting for it to pull Lazarus. I'm Daniel Thompson. Nothing seems real. Maybe it'll be okay. That's the thing. I don't know. I don't know. The amount of things that I know that I don't know after the last year is just incredible. I used to think I was so smart. I used to think I was charming and all these other things, but no, I am what I am. Maybe a little bit more than average, but that's it. I'm not overly anything, but I've had a lifetime of people trying to make me to be more, to make me be great. But whoever said I wanted to be great, maybe I just wanted to be happy. I'm Daniel Thompson, and nothing seems real. Nothing seems real. Why share this? Is this a cry for help? Is this a desperate plea for attention? Is this my ego realizing that nobody's talked about me in a while and trying to claw back to those 15 minutes of very uncomfortable fame? No, it's just I'm here and I have to do something, or I'll just do nothing. And maybe, maybe there's somebody out there that's been going through this too and has felt really lonely and like there's something just completely off with them and that they're just not like anybody else. If you're listening to this and it resonates with you, you're like me. I'm like you. We're like each other. You're not the only one of your kind. I'm here. I'm one of your kind because I'm Daniel Thompson. Nothing seems real. But when it comes to you, your emotions, your feelings, your thoughts, and you as a person, when you need me, when when I look at you and you look at me, and we both sense that we're one of our kind, I want you to know that in that moment, you are very real.